welcome back to Times Square today. My name is Greg Rollett, and right now I'm joined by best-selling author, real estate investor, and success coach Antonio Edwards. Antonio, welcome to Times Square today.
Thank you, Greg. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you here. You're the author of Be You, Be Great, and we're here talking about the book. We're here talking about some of the things you do. And
yes.
Before we dig into that, let's talk a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, again, it's a pleasure being on this show today. It's an honor, and I feel humble about this. I'm a success coach, real estate entrepreneur, and the founder of Be You, Be Great Academy. For the past 6 years, I've been investing in real estate, from flipping houses, remodeling homes, also helping countless others around the country how to be financially free themselves.
So let's go back a little bit and talk about how you got started in this, because you're a young guy and you're already kind of in the investing space. I mean, how did all this start for you?
That's a great question, Greg. I mean, I come from the bottom.
Okay.
I come from nothing, and so from where I come from, the only way to look was to look up.
Yeah.
So I come from a hard-working, struggling mom and dad, that all they knew was to take care of their children and live the rat race and live paycheck to paycheck. So my mentality growing up was to live paycheck to paycheck, work for the corporate world and retire at 65, 70 years old and stay out of trouble. So my first job at 16 years old was to drive trucks. I delivered copying machines.
All right.
And I started out at, I remember $6.50 an hour.
Yeah.
And I worked that job for 7 years of my life.
Wow.
From 16 to 23.
Hopefully you worked up from $6 an hour over the course of those years.
Well, this is the kicker though, because that whole course of that 7 years of my life, from 16 to 23 years old, I got a total of $1.50 raise.
Wow.
Capping me out at $8 an hour.
Wow.
So
that's
So me graduating from high school, me being a single dad and out on my own, I had to get 2 additional jobs to make ends meet, and that still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was just nothing. Some people watching this show probably can relate to that.
Yeah.
You're working this job, you see this paycheck, and you're like, wow, this is just devastating. I work and bust my back for these 2 weeks, and I see this paycheck, and that's how I felt. And I felt like I had to do something.
Right, so you're spinning your wheels, you're doing the same thing, you're just working harder, not necessarily smarter. I mean, how do you transition from that into maybe doing that first deal?
Right, now that's a great question. At age 22, I'm still working this job, right?
Yeah.
And through the grace of my mom, she gave me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Great book.
Yeah, it's a great book, and I never read books at the time. Never read no physical book. Yeah. I hated books.
Right.
But something told me to read this book. I was like, this could be a change I didn't know. And through my breaks at the job, driving trucks, my lunch breaks and stuff like that, and late at night, I started to read this book. And it was very interesting. Yeah. And it talked about, being an entrepreneur, building wealth through real estate, and being your own boss. Yeah. So I'm 22 years old. I'm like, this sounds real intriguing. Right. So it took me a year to process that thinking. Right. And at age 23, I actually took the heat to tell my boss I quit.
That's a big step.
It's a big step.
Yeah.
So I went out there on the entrepreneur world and became an entrepreneur, started my music company at the time. Okay. That was my first business I ever started. Well, the downfall was I didn't have a plan, Greg. Right. So that was a down spiral because I didn't have a plan and I didn't have a coach. And if anybody's watching the show, a coach, if in any industry that you're in, a coach is very essential to get you where you want to go. So I end up losing my home. I end up getting robbed twice from hanging with the wrong crowd. Yeah. And I end up with $200 left in my name and find myself sleeping in my 1991 Honda Accord. That was my inspiration. I was like, man, I got a son that's looking up to me. He's looking up to me as a hero, and I have to do something. But I also told myself I wasn't going back to a 9-to-5 to work for somebody else. Right. So what I end up doing, I end up going back home to mom and dad to get back on my feet. And that felt like that was the reset button for me. Yeah. I started studying courses on real estate because that Rich Dad Poor Dad book was always in the back of my head. Right. As far as building wealth through real estate. I was very serious. I started staying up late night studying books, buying courses, and going to free seminars, real estate seminars. Yeah. So in 2009, I opened up my first real estate company. Wow. And I flipped my first deal for $12,500, Greg. Wow. And that opened up doors like crazy from there. Yeah, I bet just your whole world just changed from rock bottom to, you know, and now I can do this. So let's talk a little bit about the industry that you're in right now and kind of the state of the industry, because I'm sure from then till now, things are changing. You're seeing a lot of deals, working with a lot of students. So what's the industry like right now? Yeah, right now, I run 4 businesses that pretty much run on autopilot. You know, I'm involved in several $1 million of real estate transactions every year, which allows me to build, you know, wealth, continuous wealth, and also build a massive retirement for me and my family. This also allows me the time to coach other people around the world how to, you know, unleash their greatness and be better for themselves and be great. And that's what I do, and that's what I cover in my book, Be You, Be Great.
Yeah, and I think they see a lot of that story that you just told me in themselves, and you're able to really get that out of them. And you know, there's a lot of folks out there teaching real estate. There's a lot of folks out there teaching success. So what do you do to stay on top of your competition and do something that's different that really gets results for your clients?
That's a great question, Greg. See, one thing I do is I work with my competition. A lot of people, you know, they go against their competition. They don't like to tell secrets, tips, tricks. You know, one thing I do, I teach my competition how to be great. You know, how to make money, because you know, once I do that, you know, I end up finding me doing joint ventures with my competition. We're both making money together, and it's a win-win situation. So that's what I like to do. I like to work with my competition.
It's like cooperative competition.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I love that. So let's do something fun right here. Let's turn back the clock, right?
Okay.
Let's turn back the clock to maybe the time when you're living out of your car, or you're working those 3 jobs. I mean, what advice would you tell yourself now to your younger self back then that maybe would have got you there faster, quicker, and got you to this life you're living now?
Wow. Yeah, that's a great question, man. I mean, if I can go back to the hands of time when I was working those 3 jobs, before I even quit my job, when I was working those 3 jobs, I'll tell myself, Antonio, fear is an illusion. Whatever you're fearing, you know, it doesn't exist, it's superficial. So you can go out there and just, you know, find what you love to do. And just work hard at it. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you love to do, it's gonna become natural. It always becomes natural. And it doesn't seem like work, per se.
That's cool. I love that. Fear is an illusion. It's just incredible. Before we take off today, I want to talk a little bit about the book. It's called Be You, Be Great. Let's talk a little bit about your inspiration behind writing the book, and then also tell everybody where they can go get the book, more importantly.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm stoked about this book right here. Be You, Be Great. Unleash your unique gift of greatness within you. I mean, this book is a game changer, Greg. You know, it teaches the tips and secrets, and I also put my real life experiences along with other real life experiences that people I know in this book. It shows you how they unleashed their greatness, how they found their gift. I feel like everybody has a gift, Greg. Most people don't know they have a gift.
They never tap into it.
They never tap into it. They never reach that full potential.
Right. Well, you could have got stuck when you were working those 3 jobs and still be working those 3 jobs and never tap into that gift, right?
I mean, it brings a tear to my eye. Just thinking back, you know, if I was still working that job today, or all 3 of those jobs today. Now let me tell you why this book is for you.
Okay.
You know, this book is for you if you're tired of working your day-to-day job and you want to quit. This book is for you if you wake up every day and you're not excited about waking up. You know, you hit
snooze button too many times.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that. This book is also for you if you want to know what the successful people do that the unsuccessful people don't do.
Right.
So guys, I mean, I'm giving away an opportunity for the people that's watching this show today. I'm giving away 1,000 free copies.
Wow.
For free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that they're watching right now and they're like, where am I one of those 1,000? So where can they go pick up a copy of the book?
Now you can go get this book at beyoubegreatnow.com.
Okay.
That's beyoubegreatnow.com. I mean, you got to hurry because this book right here, I mean, 1,000 is not a lot of copies. And after that, it's going to be priced for it. But go and get your free copy today at beyoubegreatnow.com.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming up here, spending some time with us, and I know you're going to impact and affect a lot of people. Thanks
Absolutely.
a lot.
And they can also follow me on Instagram if they want to at Antonio_J_Edwards.
I love it, man. Awesome. Thanks again so much. We'll be back with some more Times Square Today.